mercy. Come to Yahweh, eat and drink, for all is free. Show mercy.
Thou takest me from the sheep coat, the NYC coast to thee I boast. Took away my confidence in princes. Yah, only one who retains my hope. Got me ducking the cage, running from Saul like 12 years of slaves. I ain't going back. Too many javelins coming for me. They trying to take me by any means necessary, even sorcery. But I saw Yah asking what's more for me. He say, son of man, dry bones is living. The spirit that I'm giving, the sign so you know that the prince has risen. Every man hands on their loins. The furnace cooking us like sirloins. 400 years war out the saints. The judgment is sitting. Thy life is increasing. Only known to those that's using wisdom, the spirit Yah give him.
Oh my Yahweh, comfort me. Please show me. Show mercy. Come to Yahweh, eat and drink, for all is free. Show mercy.
Thou takest me from the sheep coat, the NYC coast to thee I boast. Took away my confidence in princes. Yah, only one who retains my hope. Got me ducking the cage, running from Saul like 12 years of slaves. I ain't going back. Too many javelins coming for me. They trying to take me by any means necessary, even sorcery. But I saw Yah asking what's more for me. He say, son of man, dry bones is living. The spirit that I'm giving, the sign so you know that the prince has risen. Every man hands on their loins. The furnace cooking us like sirloins. 400 years war out the saints. The judgment is sitting. Thy life is increasing. Only known to those that's using wisdom, the spirit Yah give him.
Oh my Yahweh, comfort me. Please show me. Show mercy. Come to Yahweh, eat and drink, for all is free. Show mercy.
Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine vain things? The kings of the earth set themselves in conspiracies against Yah and his chosen king, trying to break their bonds, cast away their cords. But Yah sits in the heavens and laughs, and he'll return to them in his wrath. Yet he set his king upon his holy Mount Zion. Yah serving my arm, battle axe, sharp sword, hidden in the sheep, slaying the wicked with the breath from his lips when he speak. Repairer of the priest, messenger of the covenant, so I'm expecting him to teach. Come suddenly to the temple of Elisha, father of the preacher, designer of the house, Bethlehem Yehuda. Be the humble residents, bonded to the fold on Vine Street, where we started seeking me. All you need to do is hear Yah speak.
Yahweh, comfort me. Please show me. Show mercy. Come to Yahweh, eat and drink, for all is free. Show mercy.
Praise Yah. Hallelujah. Welcome back to another live. I hope that everybody had a blessed Shabbat day. Yah, our Elohim, I thank you, Master, for bringing us into another week, another beautiful Shabbat that we got to observe together and keep together, Master, and that you spared our lives another day. I pray that you will continue to guide us and correct us and show us your light, Yah, and shine your light upon your servants, Yah, so that our people can continue to spread forth your word and righteousness. I pray that you will continue to look after us and give to those who are in need. We are all in need, Yah. All of us need prayer. I pray that you'll look after the poor, the sick, the fatherless, the needy, all of the widows, all of your children, Yah. All of those who want to do right and are continually searching and seeking for you, Yah. Praise your almighty name this day and forevermore. My Elohim, my master, my lawgiver, my creator, my only God, Most High Yah, please forgive us of our sins. You know, Yah, that I have sinned greatly. I've sinned far, far more than my foreparents, Almighty Yah. And I pray that you can have mercy on my soul and protect my child after me, Almighty Yah, and all of your children, Master. And guide my words as we go through this Bible study tonight. I thank you for your word. I thank you for showing us the correct way. You have given us all the tools that we need to live, Yah, and I'm very grateful. Without you, I don't know where I would be. I would most likely be dead, Most High Yah. So I'm grateful that you picked me up and you're dusting me off and guiding me in the right direction. Anything that I say that is wrong or an error, Yah, I pray that you will forgive me in advance and correct me. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Yah, my strength and my Redeemer. Hallelujah. So, praise Yah for this day. I pray and hope that everybody had a beautiful Shabbat. And that we live to see many more. So, the title of today's video, and pretty soon we're going to be looking for Yabib. We're going to be looking for the new year that's coming in. Praise Yah. So we got to prepare. But today's title of this video is The Gods of Heaven, because a lot of us are still learning. A lot of us don't know it all. I know I don't. And we're still searching and we're still looking for the answers. And as we go along and collect more information, it's imperative that we share all of the information that we have amongst us, right? Whether we know or we don't, whether we already knew the information or we didn't, it's important that we continue to share the word of the Most High Yah. So I see those of us who are out in the earth who don't know the Most High Yah trying to find answers to everything that's going on right now, because there's so much confusion in the world and they don't understand which way to go, unfortunately, not knowing that or not considering that there's no way that we can figure out this path without consulting Yah first, without consulting the Creator, consulting our Elohim, right? So we all have to do that. Let's go to Psalm 82 for the first verse. I want to read in Psalm 82. The Most High makes a lot of distinguishments, a lot of differences, and distinguishes between who's who, so that we're not confused about what's happening and understand. You know, people talk about portals and they talk about the matrix and how we're all stuck in a matrix and there's different dimensions, and all of these things are true, but not in the way that the heathen teaches. So, thank you. Psalm 82 and verse 6, the Most High says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. See? Y'all see that? So it's a lot deeper than we think. Like, I know that this verse is talking about the significance of us as humans, as mankind, being in the image of the Creator, being judges upon the earth, the power that we hold only when we're walking in righteousness, because the Most High lets us know in the 7th verse, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, because of our own wicked ways, right? In righteousness, you have life. In righteousness, you have the power of Yah. But the Most High is letting us know you have gods upon the earth, you see? And you have gods in the heavens as well. So let's go to Psalm 2. Yeah, let me go ahead and read Psalm 2, because this will correspond with another verse later on. All right, so in Psalm 2, the Most High tells us, starting from verse 1, why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yah and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Most High shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. So the Most High is not worried about the kings on the earth. The kings on the earth are going to be doing all the things that they're currently doing right now. They're all going to be looking like the jesters and clowns that they are, running around in confusion, thinking that they are greater than the Elohim. And the Most High is going to send his wrath upon the kings of the earth when they least expect it. Praise Yah, right? And the Most High says in verse 6, he lets us know, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. Yah has said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. So the Most High has his king for the earth that he's going to set up in his kingdom, even though we as humans believe we have all the answers and we believe we know exactly what we're doing. And, you know, if we do it, then it has to work out because we know everything and we know what's right for everyone, not just for ourselves, but for everybody without consulting the Creator. So the Most High is letting us know that's not how it's going to go down. The Most High tells us he has his king that he's going to set upon the holy hill. He already has him. He doesn't need man to appoint anybody. We need Yah, right? So, like the Most High tells us in this verse, he warns us really. This is a warning to the judges on the earth, the kings on the earth, to turn from their wicked ways and to fear Yah and keep his commandments if they desire to live, right? If we all desire to live. But of course, the Most High will send and is sending his wrath upon the kings of the earth because of course they're not going to do that. And that is what's happening now, right? So let's go to Genesis 1, and I wanted to point something out in Genesis 1 because I wouldn't be telling the whole truth if I did not include in Genesis 1 and verse 26 where it says, and Elohim said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. That the Most High was referring to his angels, the gods of heaven, with a little g, right? Just like we're little g's upon the earth. We're little gods on the earth. The angels are little gods in heaven, right? And they are given this title, okay? It's not just wisdom. When you refer to Proverbs chapter 8, that was there in the beginning with Yah, the Creator. But the Most High's angels were also there, praise Yah. They were. They were created before us. You understand? The heavens, all of that was created before us. Right? So the Most High is referring to his angels, but the Most High also lets us know in verse 27, so Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them, because the Creator is the image. The angels were created in Elohim's image. You understand? That's why it says let us, but the Creator is the original. The Creator is the image that every copy was made after. So ultimately, the Most High is creating all of us in his image, in the Creator's image. Right? Praise Yah. Now let's go to Genesis 3. Let's go to Genesis 3. And this is after our foreparents, Adam and Eve, had disobeyed the commandment of the Elohim. When you go to Genesis 3 and verse 22, and it says, and Yah Elohim said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil, and now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore, Yah Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden, to till the ground from whence he was taken. So, who is this us the Most High is referring to? Because the Most High is not schizophrenic. The Most High is not split. The Most High doesn't have different personalities, right? So clearly the Most High is referring to another entity that was created, which would be the gods of heaven with a little g, right? That's another verse speaking of the gods of heaven. All of this ties into what's happening on the earth spiritually today, because there are answers from the Most High in everything the Most High has said to us. Every word the Most High has spoken, the things the Most High wants to reveal to us, the Most High has already given us the answer. Let's go to Genesis 11. All right, in Genesis 11, praise Yah, I'm going to start at the 6th verse. And it reads, and Yah said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down in there, confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So Yah scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yah did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did Yah scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. And again, let us is referring to the angels, right? The angels, praise Yah. Now, one particular part of the verse, in verse 6, where it reads, and this they began to do, or let me just include the whole verse 6. And Yah said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. This verse here is exactly what the wicked elites go by. The wicked elites believe there's a possibility that they could defeat the Most High. They actually believe that. They believe because of this verse, they can actually defeat the Creator. Let's read it again. And Yah said, behold, the people is one. Today, okay? And they all have one language, just like today. Everyone knows English. Everybody speaks English. English is used in everything, and learning and business and everything. You have to know English. It's the global language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. And so they believe if they can repeat what these ancestors have done, there's a possibility that they can defeat the Most High. Yes, they read the Bible too. You understand? Just like Satan and all of them, they know the Bible too, right? And so, but there are certain things, right? Certain things that people pick and choose to go by. See, they don't understand a lot of things, but this right here, they believe that there's a chance that they can beat the Most High. But the Most High is not saying that just because nothing will be restrained from you, which you have imagined to do, has nothing to do with defeating the Creator. The Creator, see, a wicked person wouldn't understand because they don't understand the Most High is holy. The Most High is righteous. When the Most High is saying this, when the word is telling us this, the Most High is referring to imagine to do in your wicked hearts to rule upon the earth. You understand? You can't do anything to the Most High. You can't have space wars. I don't care how many space military army, whatever you set up, the space force. I don't care what you set up. You can't defeat the Creator, right? There's nothing that you can do. You can't go out and venture into the heavens if the Most High doesn't allow it, right? You're not above the Most High. When the Most High is saying this in this verse, he is simply referring to the things upon the earth, right? There's nothing wicked. Anything wicked you can conjure up and imagine in your heart on the earth to do, you won't be restrained from. You won't be stopped from doing it. And the Most High doesn't want that upon the earth because the Most High is righteous. The Most High is holy, right? So, no, the Most High cannot be defeated, nor can his covenant be destroyed. Let's go to Daniel chapter 4. In Daniel chapter 4, and verse 35. It reads, "And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand or say unto him, What doest thou?" There is nothing you can do against the Most High. You are nothing, I am nothing, we are nothing, and the Most High does whatsoever he pleases in the heavens above and in the earth. Praise Yah. So he's letting us know that he rules over the gods of heaven, and he also rules over man. Right? I know that's hard to believe for some of us, but he also rules over man, not just the heavens. Okay, let's go to Job. Job chapter 1. He rules over the army of heaven. He rules over his angels, and he uses his angels. And one of the most notorious stories that we know of, which is in Job, about Yah's servant Job and Satan, who is one of the angels used by the Elohim, used by the Creator, because everyone is used by the Elohim. The Most High uses whoever he pleases. In Job chapter 1 and verse 6, it reads, "Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before Yah, and Satan came also among them." Now, sons of God in this particular verse, because we all know that Israelites are sons of the Elohim. Israel is the son of Yah, the child of Yah. We're children of Israel, right? But in this particular verse, this is referring to the angels. This is referring to the members in the court, right? Of heaven. And Satan just so happened to be among them, right? And Yah, in verse 7, said unto Satan, "Whence comest thou?" Then Satan answered Yah and said, "From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it." And Yah said unto Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Elohim and escheweth evil?" Then Satan answered Yah and said, "Doth Job fear Elohim for naught? Have not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side, that thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land?" Hallelujah. Praise Yah, but put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he has, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yah said unto Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your power, only upon himself put not forth your hand." So Satan went forth from the presence of Elohim, from Yah. So here you hear the Most High. There's a dialogue going on between the Most High and Satan, the one who's going to testify against you. You understand? In the court of Yah. This is Satan's job. This is what he does. He works for the Most High Yah. See, you have angels who are assigned to many different positions, just like the Most High assigns us. And do we understand all the positions of heaven? Absolutely not. We can't even get it together here on earth. But the Most High is letting you know, not only does when the Most High is letting you know, he likes to put things in order. All through the word, you see an example that we have an Elohim of order. All through the word, you have order, right? The Most High is showing us that. That's the ongoing pattern that you're going to see is order. Everything is in order. It's not just on earth, but it's also in heaven. The Most High has order from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. The Most High has order, right? And so the Most High has assigned even his angels to many different positions. And some of these angels are good, and some of these angels are bad. Let me say it again. Some of these angels are good. Some of these gods, with a little g, are good. And some of them are not. And they all play a part. They all have a position. Just like the wicked are for the day of evil, and the righteous are for the Most High's kingdom to serve Yah in righteousness, right? These angels, these gods of heaven, are assigned righteousness, and some are wicked, some are bad. You understand? So I don't need a book outside of the word to tell me that there's a such thing as bad angels. I don't need the book of Enoch. I don't need any of those books to tell me that you have bad angels and you have good angels. Now, the only thing I can say about Genesis 6 is that if the sons of God in Genesis 6 were referring to angels procreating with humans, we see no signs of that today. So I cannot say that this is something that was practiced. You understand? You would have evidence of that today because these angels have not lost, the bad angels haven't lost contact with the kings of the earth that rule the nations. They haven't lost contact. They're still in contact today. But you don't have any signs of angels procreating with humans. You don't see that going on. Right? Humans are humans, angels are angels. Okay? So the Most High is assigning angels to different tasks right here on the earth. Let's go to Psalm 78. Let me see something. Let's go to Psalm 78. Okay. And in Psalm 78 and verse 49, it reads, He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. And so let's go to Exodus 12 and see what these evil angels are, or who these evil angels are. right? This is simply referring to the angels of destruction, right? In Exodus chapter 12, and verse 23. In Exodus 12 and verse 23, when the Most High highlights this specific evil angel, because they were all sent through the plagues. But when the Most High highlights this evil angel in Exodus 12 and 23, it reads, "For Yah will pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he sees the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, Yah will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you." You see? So the destroyer was one of the angels of Yah, sent on an assignment to destroy. This was an evil angel sent by Yah to destroy. A destroyer, an angel of death. You don't want the Most High to send the angel of death upon you. None of us want the Most High to send the angel of death upon us. And you know, seeing that the Most High will send such brutal wraths through his angels, I can't imagine a wrath that comes just directly through Yah. Like, I wouldn't, what? Can you imagine? Like, you see, the Most High flooded the whole earth at one point, and everyone died except for Forefather Noah and his family, and all the creatures that he commanded him to put on the ark with him. I can't imagine that wrath coming, because all the wrath is coming directly from Yah. But the Most High can use the other entities that he's created to send his wrath. And I believe that's the Most High being generous. I believe that's merciful. Praise Yah. Because the wrath coming directly from Yah, the Most High could just obliterate the whole earth right now and destroy us all. Right? So, the Most High, he has angels that he sends on assignment to destroy. He has angels he sends on assignments to bless and to stand in the gap. Right? We got to remember that. And then there are angels who are actually bad. And then there are angels who are actually good. Right? We'll talk about the bad ones. Right? Let's go to Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. And in Daniel chapter 3, let's start at verse 22. And it reads, this is when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego went into the fiery furnace. In verse 22, "Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose. walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake, and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you servants of the Most High Elohim, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their heads singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own Elohim. Therefore I made a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other Elohim that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So, praise the Almighty Yah. This angel in particular was sent to shield and protect these three righteous men from destruction, to cover them. See, this is a different assignment. All of them have a different assignment. They're like real life superheroes, right? This is where you get all of the comic books and all of this from. These supernatural beings, right? You get all of this from the Most High, the Creator. The Creator created the first superheroes. His angels. The gods of heaven. Praise Yah. Praise Yah for his angels. All of his beautiful, righteous, holy angels. Hallelujah. So, let's go to Daniel chapter, let's talk about, we can go to Daniel chapter 10 right now. And then we'll go to 2 Samuel. Let's go to Daniel chapter 10 since we're in Daniel. And in Daniel chapter 10, because again, here are more angels showing you there are different portals. There are things happening in the spiritual that we don't see, that manifest in the physical realm, or what we know as the physical realm, right? Because what's real to us is what the Most High allows us to see. That's what's real to us. But the things that we can't see, we don't consider. We disregard. But let's go to Daniel chapter 10 and verse 12. And it reads, Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy Elohim, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. This is the angel speaking. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days. And then the angel goes on to talk about what is going to manifest in the physical between Greece and Persia, right? This is very real, very, very real. And if we listen and we pay attention and we pray and we seek and we're sincere, then we can understand, right? We can understand. Praise Yah. So you have Michael, and you have, which is another angel, and then you have another angel, which is the prince of the kingdom of Persia, mentioned in verse 13. In verse 13, the prince of the kingdom of Persia was a bad entity. This is not talking about a man, not a physical being, a man. This is talking about a bad entity that withstood the angel speaking to Daniel for 21 days. So you have good entities and you do have bad entities. This is very real, right? And they don't, it's not some, like Christianity tries to teach you, these bad entities jump inside of your body and they possess you and they do all these things. Now, I don't know to what extent, all of that is true. I don't know what they do because I don't get into witchcraft and sorcery. I stay away from that because the Most High told us to. Now, I don't know what y'all are doing over there with those bad entities, but from this, we see that these bad entities do indeed exist. They exist anyways, right? They exist. And they do provoke humans. And they do stir people up, right? They do communicate with humans as well. If you communicate with bad entities, you can communicate with them as well. And that's what the kings of these rulers of the nations do. They communicate with these bad entities. So that's one example, right? Let's go to another example where the Most High will use these entities. Let's first establish something in 2 Samuel. Let's go to 2 Samuel. And in 2 Samuel chapter 24, I want to let something be known because a lot of people, they go by 1 Chronicles 21. And they like to just mention Satan. But the Most High wants to let you know who's in control, who is actually doing this. Because the Most High, again, they go by the Most High's word. These entities are ruled over by the Creator. And the Creator sends the angels wherever He pleases to do whatever assignments, right? To do whatever. So let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 24. 2 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 1. It reads, "And again, the anger of Yah, the anger of Yahweh, was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah." So this is essentially the Creator. This is the anger of Yah, Most High Yah, The Most High Yah is moving David through Satan, because Satan works for the Creator. And the Most High wants that to be clear. He wants you to know that. He's in control. He is the puppet master. We are the puppets. Okay? And verse 2. For the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people. And Joab said unto the king, now Yah thy Elohim add unto the people how many soever they be, 100-fold, and that the eyes of my master the king may see it. But why does my master the king delight in this thing? Because he's like, this is a sin. Why are we doing this? Verse 4, notwithstanding, the king's word prevailed against Joab and against the captains of the host. And Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel. And they passed over Jordan and pitched in Aroer, on the right side of the city that lieth in the midst of the river of Gad, and toward Jazer, or Yazer. Then they came to Gilead, into the land of Tatim Hodshi, and they came to Danjaan, and about to Zidon, and came to the stronghold of Tyre, and to all the cities of the Hivites and of the Canaanites, and they went out in the south of Judah, even to Beersheba. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of 9 months and 20 days. So it took them all of this time, almost a whole year. And verse 9, and Joab gave up the sum of the number of the people unto the king. And there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000 men. And you will see in 1 Chronicles 21, the number was actually the men who drew the sword, 1,100,000, and 470,000 of the men of Judah. And you'll see that the numbers are different, because in 1 Chronicles 21, Joab did not count the men of Levi and the men of Benjamin. So the actual number was greater, and rounding the numbers was actually very common in ancient Israel when it came to census. We were not supposed to do the census, but they rounded the military heads, which is why you get the 500,000, right? And the 800,000. But the original number was more. However, Joab did not count them because it grieved him, right? So, and you'll also see in 1 Chronicles 21:1, where Satan provoked David, because Satan was sent by the Creator, because the anger of Yah was kindled, right? In verse 10, it reads, and David's heart smote him after that he had numbered the people. And David said unto Yah, I have sinned greatly, and that I have done. And now I beg you, O Yah, take away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. Hallelujah. So King David regretted the sin that he had committed, the thing that he had done. In verse 11, for when David was up in the morning, the word of Yah came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and say unto David, Thus saith Yah, I offer you 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto you. So he's giving him some choices here. He's letting him know you're not going to get out of this. You're going to have to choose one of these things, because you're going to have to suffer the consequence of breaking the Most High's law. You're going to have to suffer the consequence of sinning, right? Just because your spirit was stirred up to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. That's just like somebody who has a hot head. It doesn't say that King David was possessed. Then King David was possessed, and the Most High possessed him, and because then it wouldn't have been on King David. No, he just had his spirit moved. His spirit was stirred up. You understand? That's like if somebody upsets you and your spirit gets stirred up and you get a temper, you got a hot head, and you decide to just go off, right? Instead of remaining calm because of your emotions, right? So because King David had done this thing, he had to suffer the consequences after. So in verse 13, it reads, So Gad came to David and told him and said unto him, Shall 7 years of famine come upon thee in thy land? Or will you flee 3 months before thine enemies, while they pursue you? Or that there be 3 days pestilence in thy land? Now advise, and see what answer I shall return to him that sent me. And David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of Yah, for his mercies are great. And let me not fall into the hand of man. So he's like, whatever happens, I do not want to fall into the hands of man. I don't want that to be my punishment, right? Verse 15. So Yah sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed. And there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men. 70,000. They just dropping like flies because of the plague that's being sent through the land, through Israel. But then something happens in verse 16. And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, he was about to destroy Jerusalem. They were about to get annihilated, right? Yah repented him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed the people, It is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of Yah was by the threshing place of Arana, the Jebusite. And David spake unto the people, David spake unto Yah when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me and against my father's house. So King David, wanted the wrath to be upon him and his household. Okay, hold on one moment. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we left off on verse 17 of 2 Samuel 24, where King David wanted the plague to be upon his household and not the people of Israel, because the people of Israel were innocent. They were not the ones who caused the census to happen. It was King David. So in verse 18, and Gad came that day to David and said unto him, Go up, rear an altar unto Yah in the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. And David, according to the saying of Elohim, went up as Yah commanded. And Araunah looked and saw the king and his servants coming on toward him. And Araunah went out and bowed himself before the king on his face upon the ground. And Araunah said, Wherefore is my master the king come to his servant? And David said, To buy the threshing floor of you, to build an altar unto Yah, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Araunah said unto David, Let my master the king take and offer up what seemeth good unto him. Behold, here be oxen for burnt sacrifice, and threshing instruments, and other instruments of the oxen for wood. All these things did Araunah as a king give unto the king. And Araunah said unto the king, Yah thy Elohim accept thee. And the king said unto Araunah, Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price. Neither will I offer burnt sacrifices or burnt offerings unto Yah my Elohim of that which doth cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar unto Yah, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So Yah was entreated for the land, and the plague was stayed from Israel. So it wasn't until King David built the altar and gave offerings to the Most High that the plague stopped completely. So this was not the people being sacrificed or standing in a gap to cover David's sin, to cover King David's sin. This is not what that was at all, because otherwise King David wouldn't have to build the altar and give sacrifices to the Creator. He wouldn't have to do that in order for the Most High to forgive him for his sin, because this was between King David and the Most High. But the Most High was punishing us as a whole. This is another great example. The Most High does not believe in human sacrifice. Killing off the people of Israel, killing off the Israelites, was not going to suffice. Killing off the people of Israel was not going to alleviate David of his sin. That was not going to happen, because that was the punishment. When the Most High is killing others because of the sins of some or the sins of many, it's a punishment, not a sacrifice. The Most High is not a God that believes in human sacrifice. He's not that type of Elohim. That's not the God we serve. So the angel in that particular story was used in that event to punish Israel. The Most High sent that angel as a part of the Most High's wrath to destroy Israel, the people of Israel. But then, of course, like we were saying before, we have many angels that come to us in righteousness, in our righteousness, right? They come to us to bless us. We don't have to deal with angels. See, because the heathens want you to believe in order to deal with the angels, they have to be fallen. They have to be something like out of the book of Enoch, right? No, we dealt with angels in blessings. You understand? We dealt with angels in our nation in blessings. They didn't have to be fallen. They didn't have to be bad, right? In First Kings, let's go to First Kings. In chapter 19. In First Kings chapter 19, I'm going to start at verse 4. And it reads, "But he himself," talking about Elijah, "went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough. Now, O Yah, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers." Right? And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. So the angel came to reassure him, you know. He didn't have to worry about Ahab and Jezebel. He was blessed by Yah. He wanted to die. But the angel came, the Most High sent his angel to reassure him, to bless him, and to keep him in good spirits. Right? So you have angels who come to us to encourage us. You have angels who come to bless us. And they come and they deal with us face to face. Praise Yah. And he touched Elijah under the juniper tree. And he was just sitting there minding his business. But notice one thing. You're going to notice one thing that separates Israel from the nations. You'll notice one thing, and which is why the Creator deals with us, right? The way that he does. Let's go to Genesis chapter 32. Genesis chapter 32. And verse 22. So in Genesis chapter 32, verse 22, it reads, "And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons," this is our forefather Jacob, "and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone. And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let you go, except you bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with Elohim and with man, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, your name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Elohim face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel Eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh and the sinew that shrank. Right? Praise Yah. So as you can see here, the angel Jacob wrestled with and prevailed, blessed him. This angel blessed Jacob. He wasn't sitting there, being taught how to apply makeup and all these things that they say fallen angels have done to teach humans, right? He blessed him with a blessing, right? So we don't have to deal with the things of the nations. We don't have to deal with the things that they deal with. The Most High, as a matter of fact, he forbid us to do certain things. According to Deuteronomy 32. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32. I'm not sure if I read Psalm 8 or not. About, I don't believe I read that. About Psalm 8 and 5 when Yah lets us know men are a little lower than the angel, right? We're a little lower than the angel. We're gods on earth. That ties in with the gods on earth, right? And the gods in heaven. Because if we're called gods, surely they're called gods, right? So let's go to Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. And let's read verse 17. Matter of fact, let's start at 16. Let's talk about what we did. They provoked him to jealousy. Provoked the Most High to jealousy, right? With strange gods, with abominations, provoked they him to anger. Now, strange gods. Let's really look into that. Because every god that is served, whether people realize it or not, every god that's served is not an inanimate object. Every god that's served is not something that does not smell or breathe, or let me say does not live. Let me put it that way, because I don't know all the details of these entities, right? I don't know what they do, but I know they're not dead, right? Every entity or every god that's worshipped is not dead. Every god that is worshipped is not inanimate. But you have a lot of idols that are inanimate. They don't live at all, right? But let's go on to verse 17. It says, they sacrificed unto devils, not to Elohim, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came up newly, or came newly up, when your fathers feared not. And what is the definition of a devil? The definition of a devil is not a piece of wood or a stone. The definition of a devil is, in fact, another entity in a spiritual sense. And it's something bad. It's associated with a malice spirit, something that is not good, right? It doesn't have to be a rock. It's not good to worship a rock. It's not good to worship a piece of wood. But devil does not mean that. Devil is something completely different. So not only are we worshiping gods of wood and stone, not only are we worshiping out here inanimate objects, we're worshiping other entities. Literally. bad entities that we should not worship. You have people who are actually out here worshiping Satan. Satan is not a rock or a piece of wood. And they call themselves Satanists. Right? So we know there are other entities out here that people are communicating with, dealing with, conjuring up, and worshiping. And it's not a surprise because the Most High obviously already told us this. Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 18. Deuteronomy 18. And let's start at verse 9. It says, when thou art come into the land which Yah thy Elohim giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. The Most High is very clear. The Most High is very precise. The Most High is very direct. He lets us know exactly what not to do. Learn not to do after the abominations of those nations, which are the nations even of today the Most High is referring to. The people around us, the heathens round about us today. Do not practice their voodoo. Do not practice their witchcraft. Do not practice their ways. None of them. Do not allow them to lead you or give you spiritual guidance, because their ways are not right. They're abominable. And verse 10, there shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. Right? Human sacrifice. Harming children. I mean, nothing has changed. They continue to do the same thing today. You can see it. These are the things the Most High tells us not to copy. Some of us listen, some of us don't. Right? We shouldn't want to do these things. We shouldn't want to harm children. But they do. We do, unfortunately. We should not want to do these things. Or that useth divination. You're casting spells. You're telling the future. You're doing all these things, using tarot cards and all these things we're not supposed to be doing. Right? Or an observer of times. Or an enchanter. Or a witch. Or a charmer. Or a consulter with familiar spirits. Or a wizard. Or a necromancer. All of these things are bad. And you know that because look at the state of the world. The world practices all these things. And the world is awful today. The world is in a horrible state. The world is suffering. The world is dying because of all of this. Sorcery, witchcraft. Where has that gotten us? Except into destruction. The world is being destroyed today. So tell me where any of this is right. If this were right, it would save the world. But in fact, it's killing the world. It's defiling the land and the people in it. And your world leaders practice this. And the people follow. Your world leaders consult evil entities, wicked entities that are in fact very real. And the Most High created it all. But you have a choice. You choose to be evil and you choose to be righteous. It's a choice. The Most High told you from the very beginning, they will become like us, knowing good and evil. Verse 12, for all that do these things are an abomination unto Yah. And because of these abominations, Yah thy Elohim doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with Yah thy Elohim. For these nations which thou hast possessed, or thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, Yah your Elohim has not suffered you so to do. The Most High commanded us not to do these things. The other nations do these things, and it causes them to perish. And when we do it, it causes us to perish. That's the pattern. We continue to perish because of our own wickedness, because we continually choose evil. Really, when it gets down to the bottom of it, like we're constantly choosing evil and we're killing ourselves when we have the power to change that if we desire. Go to 1 Samuel, because this is one notable event that happened in 1 Samuel 28 with King Saul. This is what happens when you deal with witchcraft and sorcery. We all know this story about King Saul, right? We all know about this. 1 Samuel chapter 28. And a lot of people don't understand when the Most High tells us, and because they think just because they live a very long time that well, the Most High hasn't killed me. I've been practicing witchcraft and this, that, and the third, and I'm over 100 years old. Just because, and you have till 120 to live. You do. Just so you know. You got till, but you can't live past that. You got till 120. You got some time to change. Because that's how I see it. When you look at, it's Isaiah 57, I believe, that tells us that the righteous perish and no man lay to heart. The righteous can perish as children. The righteous can perish as teenagers and young adults. They might not live out their full life. They might perish early. But the wicked might live until 120. Till their final year of breath. But the difference is there is no coming back when you're wicked. The righteous can be laid to rest and protected from all of the evil to come upon the earth. So just because you're living, life is a blessing, don't get me wrong, but the blessing is in the hope of you turning from your wicked ways. The chances that you have to actually turn from your wicked ways, if you're still living and you've lived to be a very old age and you're still living in wickedness, it kind of defeats the purpose. You've lived out your time here and that's it. But you won't come back to everlasting life, right? And you'll suffer, but you will not come back to everlasting life. Those who come back to everlasting life will be those who live righteously. Those who do what the Most High tell them to do, the obedient ones, right? So don't think just because you've made it to a ripe old age that practicing witchcraft and all the things that a lot of people are doing is right. I haven't died yet. Well, okay, you haven't died yet. And you will be punished if you don't turn from your wickedness. You don't escape punishment. King David didn't escape punishment when he numbered Israel. You don't escape it. Whether we like to think so or whatever it is we like to believe in doesn't mean that it's true. Just because you believe it, just because you think that you're not going to be punished for your sins doesn't make it true. Because remember, you're on somebody else's earth. You did not create the earth. I did not create the earth. We did not give ourselves life. You understand? And we did not assign our purposes to ourselves. The Most High assigned them. And so to go your own way and to think that it's okay to do what's right in your eyes is foolishness. What works for you is not going to work for everyone, even if you think so. Well, I make money this way. I survive this way. I live a healthy, wealthy life because of this. And I think everybody should go by what I do and my standards and the way I live because it's working for me. But we forget that we're just pawns on the Most High's board, right? We're ants. If an ant decided that it's best that all the ants just do as thou wilt, they just do whatever they want, they all lose their vision. They lose sight. They don't fulfill their purpose. They don't accomplish their goal because all of the ants who didn't create themselves decided it's best, well, I'm just going to go haywire and do whatever I want to do. That's not natural. And just like it's not natural in nature, and we're a part of nature because we're on the earth, it's not natural for us to decide we're going to do whatever we think is right in our own eyes, even though we didn't create anything. But what do I know, right? I'm still learning just like you. Praise Yah. So in 1 Samuel chapter 28 and verse 11, it reads, "Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee?" This is the witch of Endor. And he said, "Bring me up Samuel." And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, "Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul." And the king said unto me, "Be not afraid, for what sawest you?" And the woman said unto Saul, "I saw gods ascending out of the earth." That is the presence of Samuel looked like a god to her. It was so powerful, right? Samuel was righteous, right? So then we go to verse 14, and this is a familiar spirit. This is what happens when you're dealing with people who are into these things. Your life goes into the grave right along with theirs, because you can believe the witch of Endor, her life is in the grave. She will not wake up to everlasting life. Okay? And verse 13, "And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why have thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me. And Elohim is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets, nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing Yah is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And Yah has done to him as he spake by me. For Yah has rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David, because you obeyed not the voice of Yah, I'm so sorry, y'all. Nor executest, I said it, there we go, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore has Yah done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, Yah will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. Yah also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. Praise Yah. So Saul, or it says, then Saul in verse 20 fell straightway along on the earth and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all day, nor all the night. So because you're doing this thing, see, this is what I wanted to point out earlier. Because you're doing this abominable thing, you are consulting familiar spirits. You are going to go down into the grave. That's your fate. You're going into the grave as well, right along with your sons. Right? Had you consulted Yah, I can't say it wouldn't have been for sure, because the Most High does what he pleases, but it may not have been the case. And that's the thing. The Most High deals with us the way that he deals with us, Israel, because we decide to consult Yah first. And we have to do that in everything we do. We cannot forget, no matter what we come up against, when we're in battle, right? No matter what. Jonah consulted Yah from the belly of the beast, our forefather Jonah. And Yah answered our forefather Daniel in the lion's den. Joshua, our forefather, our great warrior forefather Joshua, prayed to Yah, leaving Gilgal to Gibeon. And the Most High always brings us out on top when we consult the Creator. When you consult with the Creator, you will come out on top. But when you're up here dealing with witches and conjuring up familiar spirits, you go down into the grave, which is why the energies of people who do this, whenever you're around witches and sorcerers and people who practice these things, you can feel their energy is off. You can feel it. You know when you're around it, and it's just something ain't right. Because it's not. That's your spirit talking to you. It's letting you know they're not right. Because the Most High told us not to do these things. They are abominable. And if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not. And that is when people say, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, and all these things. You can feel when something is off. You can feel when you're dealing with someone who does these types of things and they practice these abominable things. Their energy ain't right. The energy is off. There's something weird about them. Something creepy and strange about them. And you don't really like dealing with them. I know I don't anyway. And so we have to be able to discern these spirits and know what we're dealing with, because you got people out here who will lead you right into the grave with them because they think what they're doing is right, because they see the power, this illusion of power that it brings them from communicating with these evil entities. And just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. It's like you have poisonous mushrooms and poisonous berries. Just because you can eat them doesn't mean you should eat them. You can eat a blowfish, but should you? You can eat pork, but should you? You see? Should you? We can do a lot of things, but it doesn't mean it's right. So, that was 1 Samuel 28 regarding Saul and the witch of Endor and dealing with these evil entities, these wicked entities. And the Most High lets us know exactly what's going to happen with these wicked entities, along with those who deal with the wicked entities, in Isaiah chapter 24. Let's go to Isaiah 24. So, in Isaiah 24, I'm going to start in verse 21. It reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day that Yah shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited." This is referring to two different groups. You have the hosts of the high ones, right? The host of the high ones, these evil entities. And then you have the kings of the earth upon the earth. These are all of your great world leaders. And your great world leaders consult the hosts of the high ones. They consult these evil entities who are going to be gathered together, all of them, the Most High tells us, and punished. They will all be punished one day, suddenly, when they least expect it. And this is why they cannot turn from their sorcery and their witchcraft and continue to do wicked, and the wicked shall do wickedly, even in the latter days. Because to them, they feel it's bringing them power. It's very real. When they communicate with these spirits and these entities, it's very real. But the Most High told us not to deal in that manner, not to deal with stuff like that. But they're going to continue to do it even in the latter days. And the Most High is going to punish all of them. Praise Yah. So I just wanted to go over that. I mean, this is something that could go on and on and on. We can continue, people can continue this study and bring other things up and other verses if you're interested in learning more about the gods of heaven. If you're interested in learning more about the roles of the angels. If you're interested in learning more about the spiritual world. And you don't have to consult a witch to learn about the spiritual world, because the spiritual world is in the Most High's word. All of the spiritual world, right? And the Most High tells you how to deal with certain things and how you shouldn't deal with certain things. So I just wanted to bring that out. Again, I hope everyone enjoyed their Shabbat day. Praise the Almighty Yah. All glory to the Most High Yah. I will be coming back with another video, Yah willing, soon. And I love you all. Shalom.